Hello, this is Jim Whiteley. I live in Grand Junction, Colorado, and I run a Top Alcohol Dragster. I'd like to talk to you about some wonderful things Goodyear's got.
And who are the sponsors on this car?
Well, Goodyear, NGK, J&A Services, Advanced Oilfield Services. Some people have helped us. There's a comfort zone in that tire, and it's been around for several years. You know, it feels good knowing that the Goodyear tire is on the car. Also, if we scuff a tire and you know, we have to put a new set of tires on, we can be pretty, you know, relatively comfortable that the car will repeat with one pass versus having to seat a set of tires in with 3 or 4 runs and then they come around. You know, that happens quite often. We've won a race in Pomona and a couple other places where we've actually had to set a new set of tires on in the final, and it performed wonderfully.
Okay, now tell us a little bit about the difference between having a blown car and an injected car and what that means to the tire and why you like this tire.
Well, the injected cars run a 36-inch tire, and they're a direct drive type deal. They apply pressure and accelerate hard through the middle of the track and on the top, where we wind these things up and swap feet, and we beat on the sidewalls real hard. They spool up real tight, you know, and you can damage a tire with a tire shake, and these cars typically do that. If anybody could ever figure out how to keep that from happening, they'd be heroes. But the sidewall seems to really hang around without pulling apart. And we get, you know, exceed 16, 17 runs on a set of tires, and we need to pull them off at that point because they've been abused, but they do real well up to that point.
Now this team has more than just one car. You have a dragster and you have a funny car, and you use the same tire on both. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I use the same tire on both cars, and then we have 2 Top Sportsman door cars, 2 Top Dragsters cars, and all these are running 190, 200 mile an hour, you know, mile an hour in ETs in the low 7s and 6s. We use Goodyears. We'll get 50, 60 passes on a set of Goodyears on the Sportsman cars. It's a wonderful deal.
When you're sitting in one of these cars and you hit the throttle and you're moving, what is the feeling? What does the driver feel? And since it's a seat of the pants kind of thing, can you tell anything about the tire at the hit of the throttle?
Well, at the early stages, no. But where this, you know, you really tell a tire is a good tire is once you get in a mile an hour of 100 up to 200, 250, when the tire stays uniform and it's not rough.
Now, these tires have inner liners, do they not? Is that something you have to get used to using?
Yeah, we run inner liners on there just to hold the wheel and the tire together so it doesn't spin on the bead.
A little confusing though, you have 2 sets of tire pressures in, don't you? You have the tire pressure for the inner liner and then tire pressure for the outside tire. That must take a lot of getting used to.
Well, we've ruined some gauges going to the wrong side. Yeah, but your inside's 50 pounds and then, you know, your outside's whatever you like to run on the low pressure side.
And how do you make that decision? How do you decide what the outer pressure should be?
Weather and track conditions. You know, if you need bite, you know, or if it's too sticky, you adjust accordingly.
People don't realize what kind of a science this is, do they?
No, not at all. It takes a group of people, and you got to stay on top of it.